I was watching this video. I haven't been on his channel in a minute. Let's get to that. YouTuber Zip with the Drip. Yes, I make my round sometime down this section. I don't know if he's part of the dirty section of YouTube. They changed it, I think. I think they call it the dark side. I don't know. But anyway, yes, that's where all the streets and the filth and the ghetto, the hood, all that stuff. No disrespect to Zip with the Drip. I think he's funny sometimes. And some things I just don't agree with these guys. But anyway, so it seemed like him and Hassan Campbell gonna be going at it again. Because I remember at one point they was going at it. And Hassan claims that he put Zip with the Drip on. Because Zip with the Drip was doing his content, at least this is what Hassan was saying, on Instagram or something like that. I think it was Instagram, right? And then he told him to come over to YouTube or whatever. Now, I once spoke to Hassan Campbell in the DMs on Instagram. And I just let him know that I apologize for a video that I did on him years ago. He probably didn't even know what I was talking about. And I got caught up in the hype of what everybody was saying, like, yo, you know, I don't want to get into it. But anyway, I took the video down and I just let him know that I like his content, but my only thing is I just don't like when he crashes out. It seems like he's been doing that a whole lot lately over the years. And like I told y'all before, he's dealing with a lot of pain, and he's also angry at the Bronx and the people he grew up with, the elders, and the industry. So this is why oftentimes you'll see him going at certain cats in the industry, really mostly all of them, but he got his main ones he like to get at, Jim Jones and Maino. And he really felt like nobody had his back when he came out with his story. You know, what happened between him and African Bambaataa. And it's just unfortunate that this brother has not healed, and it's obvious that if he doesn't get some type of help, he's just gonna crash out until, I don't even want to talk like that, but it's just crazy. Whenever you see a man or a woman, they're always in drama. Because I see it outside the internet, even within my world, my life, you know what I mean? I see it. Like when you see somebody that's constantly at war with almost everybody, I'm not saying that they right, I'm not saying that they wrong, but a lot of times they are dealing with some demons, man. You know what I mean? Like they crashing out even with people they cool with. Not just they ops or they enemies, whatever you want to call it. They even crash out with people that they're friends with or family with that they cool with. And it's like, it'd be so many people trying to tell them like, yo, you don't got to put all this out there, or you don't got to do it this, go about it this way. And you know what they do? They go rogue. Yo, don't nobody tell me what to do. I don't got no OG. I ain't got no elders. They don't got no, listen, this is not a good example to set for the next generation, because that's why they talk like that. That's why they don't respect elders no more. They don't respect the OGs. They feel like they know everything and they don't need no help. We all got to have somebody who's at a higher level than us, who been where we've been, you know what I mean, who could relate to us, that we look to for advice. You know what I'm saying? This is why I was going to get off the internet in regards to trying to be like a messenger. I wasn't going to do this. You know what I mean? That's why I kind of like, for years, I didn't want to do this. You know, it was only up until recently I decided to come back. Because I feel like a lot of elders turned their back on us. You know what I'm saying? Like, as far as what we're into, what we believe in, you know what I mean? If you know, you know, like what we believe in the Most High, right? I feel like I thought we was going to be building as a people. We was going to come together on communities and all that. And it's just every man for himself. Every man in their family for themselves. I'm going to touch deep on that later, man. I got a video for y'all, man. Those of y'all that's in the truth and all that, I got a video for y'all. But I'm debating if I want to put it out or if I even want to do it. Well, I'm just going to deep dive on things I've learned about this community. The other things I'm still confused about. and mentally where I'm at with it. You know what I'm saying? I'll get to that later. But Zip with the Drip had some audios on Hassan, man. And it seemed like, allegedly, it sounded like, I don't know if it was Clubhouse. It sounded like they was on a phone call together, right? And just hearing how Hassan was talking and that he was apologizing, this must have been like some years ago. I could have sworn it was on YouTube. I can't remember. I tried to find it, I couldn't find it, but I believe they had an exchange on the internet. It might have been Clubhouse. It's been a minute. I've been out the loop. I've been doing my own thing. I haven't been focused on that. I like to catch some of Hassan's videos. I just don't like when he get to crashing now. And it seemed like he's doing it again. Yeah, you're going to get a big check. But it just ain't worth it, man. Some things are just not worth it. You know, Doggy Diamonds tried to help, you know, Hassan. He used to tell him, he would call him up. You know, I'm just going by what Doggy said in his lives. He said that he would call Hassan. And remember, Doggy went in on Hassan. He went in. Doggy Diamonds went in on him. I was like, sheesh. Hey, I don't want to catch none of that smoke. But anyway. But it's crazy when I get to, anyway. So he used to call his phone like, yo, you wildin', go home. What is you doing? Go home. Because Hassan would be in the streets wilding or whatever. I just don't get it when it comes to these brothers. Hassan's not the only one. There's another brother that he's down bad, man. He was one of my favorite YouTubers. And it's like these dudes are just spiraling out of control, man. They're not happy, man. I'm telling you, these people are broken. They're miserable. I hate to say it like this. I hope Hassan don't catch, you know, no feelings towards this. I get it. You've been through some trials and tribulations, some trauma that you haven't healed from. That a lot of us, I don't think a lot of men could have handled that. You know? I was almost caught in a situation like that, but I got away. I ran up out the house. I'm gonna talk about that another time. Because this dude tried to lock me in the house when I was like, I had to be like 12 or 13. Oh, I can't wait to tell that story. My mom's probably gonna be like, huh? I ain't never heard this one. You will. Soon. But anyway, just hearing those audios between Hassan Campbell and Maino, and it seemed like Hassan's really a fan of these guys, bro. He really is. And I think eventually he should admit it. He probably already have admitted it. But just hearing that audio, he was admitting it. Like he said, I ain't got no beef with y'all. I got love for y'all. But it's just, I feel as though da-da-da-da, what he was saying. And I'm just like, wow. So he's really a fan, but I feel like when it comes to the industry and the hip hop, he feels as though nobody had his back. You know? When it came to Bambaataa, nobody was there to help him get through this. You know, like he really was hoping a large amount of people would have stepped in, but a lot of people just looked away and like, hey, they ain't got nothing to do with me. And that's why he got a lot of anger and rage towards the hip hop community and black people and his own stomping grounds, the Bronx. You know what I'm saying? I used to stay in the Bronx. The Bronx is no joke, man. I agree with Doggy Diamonds and Zip with the Drip. Today's youth aren't really listening to Jim Jones and Maino. The most people that listen to Jim Jones and Maino are people, I say like 30 and up. 30, between the ages of 30 to 50, something. Somewhere right there. Most people in their 20s, they're not listening to these guys. You know. They are aware of them. They might be aware of them, but they don't. Nah, they don't listen to them. They listen to the Little Durks, you know, the Playboy Cardis of the world, Drake. Who's another artist they like? G Herbo, you know, NBA Youngboy. Any drill rapper that's out there. Let me stop. That's what they're into. They're not really listening to Jim Jones from Dipset or Maino, you know. And, you know, that's more of my era. I mean, they're older than me, but still, that's my era. You know, the Dipset and, you know, Maino and Cameron and all that. If somebody says they joined the Bloods, even though your family should be involved, see, that's the problem. The black man and the black women are creating babies, but they're not staying together to help raise these babies with each other. And it's a lot of broken homes, man. And it was designed that way. But it seemed like we just can't break free from that curse, you know? And it's just sad that our sisters, I don't want to talk like that on this video, but I got to keep it a band. They sold us out, man. You know, they gave them welfare, they gave them education, and they said, you just can't have no man in the house. They gave them, you know, this money, and they chose that, and we just haven't recovered from that. Then they flooded the communities with all this poison. You know, and it's like they tore a lot of black families apart, and a lot of brothers was incarcerated because they chose the street life, because they was getting laid off from these factory jobs and all type of jobs was just laying them off at one point. I'm telling you, Satan was thinking, before all this, he was thinking,
how can I separate the black man and black woman? They are so powerful when they're together. And look at all the babies they created.
There was a time when, man, listen, if you rewind time, a lot of black men and black women were creating a lot of babies in one household. Some households had like 8 kids, 10 kids, or 13 kids, or 7 kids, 5 kids. Today's generation, they're creating a lot of kids, but the women of today, as it has been for years, for decades, you know, 1 or 2 decades, they're creating a lot of kids, the black women that is, right, with multiple men. See, that was unheard of at one point. If you go into the biblical times, them women didn't, I mean, if we're going to go by the scriptures and what we know, they didn't have multiple baby daddies. Or maybe they did and it just hasn't been recorded in history. I don't know. But from my recollect, they didn't have multiple baby daddies. And back in them times, when a woman found her husband, the father gave her away. Like the parents chose your man. You know, I know we're so far removed from that, but it was different, man. Totally different. And now it's, when you talk to the average chick, especially coming from the inner cities, even sometimes the suburbs would be, which is crazy. It'd be messing me up. I'd be like, wow, she got everything together, but she got multiple baby daddies. She's like she worked for the bank, 3 kids, and then you find out she got multiple baby daddies. She's well educated, and it's like, oh man, she got her ish together, but she just happened to have a lot of baby daddies. It's like, come on, man. It's crazy out here, but that's a deep dive for another time. But do I think that they're misleading the youth? There's truth to it, because it's the context in the music. What are they rapping about? Oh, I sold this. I played a block. We can make you disappear. I got the glizzy on me, you know. When they hear all that type of stuff, that could be misleading the youth. That in itself, and then they see that you on them street corners, you a lobby boy, you got all these chains, and they see you got the fast money, and these guys are in their 50s and they just can't let it go. Like, it's time. Once you get in your 50s, you gotta rap about something else. Especially if you're no longer in the hood, meaning that you don't stay there no more, you just visit. They go back to the suburban areas. When it's all said and done. Yeah, that's nasty work. Especially if these kids don't have no light. They're doomed and gloomed. You know, it's going to be curtains for them. And it's unfortunate because a lot of these kids, some of them are very educated and they're talented, but they put it all in the wrong things. And that's where Satan wants them. So that way, he'll have a lot of souls getting sent to where he's going. You know what I'm saying? Y'all let me know what y'all think, man. It's just crazy, yo. It's a lot of craziness. So now I guess Hassan Campbell and Zip with the Drip gonna be going at it. He was calling everybody. Hassan was calling everybody out. He called everybody out. He was calling Gully TV out. I'm like, I saw Gully TV's live. It's just crazy, bro. Like, it don't matter how many bands YouTube gives you, well, not YouTube, but Google gives you. This ain't worth it, bro. I'm not willing to go this route. I'm crashing out with all these YouTubers, and it's getting me money, and then I'm airing out their dirty laundry, and we going back and forth, and it's like if we see each other, now you gotta be paranoid when you out in society, because it don't have to come from them. It could come from somebody they love. You know what I mean? Like, yo, I see him right over here. You want me to make that move? I'm telling you, man. But anyway, it's your boy Donnie, man. Y'all let me know what you think. It can be misleading the youth because of the music, and a lot of these kids mentally, they're just not there yet, especially if they're under the age of 25. They're not there yet. So yeah, we roll with morals and principles, but a lot of these kids today, and they're very overly emotional, they get all their emotions from their moms, because she's angry and she's filled with rage and venom because she ain't got no love in her life. The daddy ain't there. Anyway, man, that's for another time. I gotta roll. I'm out.